If we look at the lunar month in terms of divine qualities, we get Verde, increase, Mangala, auspicious, Bala, strength, Kala, contest, Lakshmi, prosperity, Yasa, fame, Mitra, friend, Danda, punishment, Ugra, fierce, Saumya, gentle, Ananda, pure happiness, Yasa, fame, Jaya, victory, Ugra, fierce. With the full moon, we have Saumya, gentle. And that continues till the new moon, Pitar, ancestors. Then we might look at Nanda, prosperity or happiness, Bhadra, auspiciousness, Jaya, triumph, Rikta, emptiness or hollowness, Purna, fullness or completeness. I think everybody's trying to be a Graha, Caesar, or influencer these days and age. But we have a broader purpose in the Kalamrita, the nectar of time. Between the tropical and sidereal modes, we have Ayananamsa, the moving portion, because there's different things of ways to look at things. We should work on becoming a Risha, a seer, finding our sukha, our good, enjoyable, pleasant space, place. In a way, ultimately, we can become a Vahana, our symbolic vehicle. We don't have to touch others to embrace them. There are different ways to use the symbolism of astrology, and the entities are aspects that are referred to. There are different ways for the different times and places. Let us ever repeat the primal sound and make other personal efforts. Some of reality is available, some of it's not available. We affirm both. We connect to the different types of reality. Some people would prefer to relate to the 27.7 day cycle of the moon rather than the 29 or 30 day cycle, which corrects itself automatically with each sighting of the crescent moon. I mean, it's not corrected, but you know what I mean? It's always correct because it starts with the first sighting in the world, and then, anybody west and most of the people north and south. Some people will connect their practice to how the moon and the sun are arranged in comparison to each other, what half of the lunar month, the particular state, the lunar day, and the solar day. They'll have different symbols for that. One's seen my tarot calendar, that's sort of like the Chinese zodiac, right? But, it's 7 cards. So, again, but none of these things are per se so determinative. Certainly, the symbolism of the different seasons is more standard. There's the Ayurvedic connecting to life. There is the breakdown of the elements into air, water, and fire and earth. And there's qualities that are attributed to that. People talk about the mother birth because, well, that's where we all start. And as indicated in some of the programs that I talked about, is there are entities that react upon people before they're even born, that bless them before they're even born, that know about their lives before they're born. And that sort of mention kind of makes people think that, if we just know the right trick, we can predict everything. And it's not quite like that. Some people will rejuvenate during winter. In some places, that's the hardest time of year. And in this world, as much as they talk about global warming and all that stuff, one of the things that happens is that the seasons are actually much harder on people with coldness. More people die and more sickness and all that sort of stuff. But, people, you might want to change your diet, the sort of herbs that you use, your physical activity. We should probably think about how to conserve resources. Certainly, one issue that we may step away from is the idea of mere collections. I'm at the point where I'm thinking that, okay, some books I'm going to keep around forever, basically, but other books, I'm not sure I'm going to do anything more than I've done on this channel, or if something happens, then it's not necessarily one that I'm going to reread, or whether presentation or giving talks on it. So maybe some of those I should give away, and some might benefit others more than me. So if you do have things, that is something to consider. You definitely want to prepare for your future, even in this life. But we shouldn't fight with divinity. We shouldn't fight with nature. We shouldn't fight with, there's a lot of things in this world that aren't worth our effort, or are counterintuitive. Spring, well, whether spring starts at an equinox or whether it starts at a cross quarter, depending on your opinion, it is the season of warming. And so, again, there would be things to encourage or go along the process, and certain things in regards to the previous seasons, when you get to a new season, is important to consider. Different works are easier during those particular times, and remember that animals are, they're inhabited by souls too, and of course humans are a type of animal, but, those who are going to act like humans aren't animals, the animals have rights too. And there are certain gestures and rituals that form symbolism differently through the different seasons. And obviously, when it's warmer, you don't have to eat as much to maintain yourself or do the work that you would do. Some people like to say prayers that honor who is dear to divinity. And we want such a level of devotion and truth that they had. And we want the destruction of our past mistakes. And, that final sense, obviously, divinity's still going to remember, but, not going to punish us because we've truly repented, as people like to call it. And divinity is just one step ahead. So don't worry about divinity being punished, regardless of what your opinion is of divinity in terms of number or anything else, right? And some people might want to refer to the elements attributed to the seasons, whether you talk about 4 seasons or 3 seasons or whatever, or 6, or whatever opinion you follow. I definitely employ my seasonals and keep to the themes with that when I work with these things. We definitely want to live in a state of confidence in ourselves and realize various things are means. And definitely we don't want to make a point of getting things to fight against each other just for the heck of it. We should want to live a transformative life. And we do things outside of ourselves. Plants, altars, temples. And we can refer to curses and blessings that have been done to learn the lessons from that. And the lunar stages and the solar stages, the occasional things, the eclipses and all that, are definitely things that form times that are best for certain things, are worst for certain things. Now, people go too far with, in my family, we don't wear this jewel, or we don't do this because this in our chart of our ancestor or ourselves or the current sky chart. All just like shuffling cards. Every symbol's a good symbol and a bad symbol. And time, it can be a curse or a blessing. And it's important sometimes to figure out where in the sky these things happen. The sun, where in the sky is that sun, right? Where particular planets are. It can help in your thing. There could be meanings of the particular days of the week. It's up to you, the meanings. There can be base things that are universal. But, and different things came in different times and places and were for different times and places. And different traditions preserved or changed things differently. So ultimately, let's not fall into the things that's like, this was from this region and this was from that region. In a sense, at the base of it all, there's only one religion.